Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's Daily Dose of Awesome, hosted by Elite Marketing Pro. My name is Kate McShay, and I am super duper excited to be on here today because today I'm actually going to talk to you about what I like to call the top 3 must-have power posts that you need to be utilizing while you're posting on social media so you can win big inside of 2018 this year. Okay, so as you're coming on, just let me know that that I'm all set and good to go. Just pop in, comment in, so I know that we're ready to rock. Okay, it looks like people are watching. Awesome. So I'm going to actually hop right in here, and I'm going to start talking about power posting, because for me, power posting is a little bit different than regular posting, okay? So I want you to drop a 1 if you're consistently on a daily basis posting in about your business, posting in value, posting in ways to help people, become better, all right? Because that's what this is all about. So drop a 1 if that's something that you're consistently doing on a daily basis, that you're consistently posting, okay? And good morning, everybody. Super excited to see all of you on here. Because here's one thing I can tell you, okay, as you're dropping 1s, or if you're not dropping 1s because you're not consistently posting, that's totally cool too. The reason I wanted to share with you these top 3 posts that you've probably used before, but maybe not in the way that I'm going to show you on today's training is, and I like Cecilia says 0.5. That's awesome. I like that, you're about halfway there of posting consistently. Well, here's what I can tell you is that if I were to have answered that question about 4 or 5 years ago, if someone were to ask me if I was posting consistently and I was posting, for people to get value, I would have said 1, okay? However, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't be able to answer that question by how I was posting back then. So basically what I want to talk about today is your mind on how you're posting and the reason that you're posting what you're posting, okay? And kind of the psychology behind some of the posts that seem so simplistic, yet they actually can create maximum amounts of content for you. They can create massive amount of momentum for you. They give you the ability to really hop inside your prospect's mind, so they're super, super powerful. Now, before we do that, okay, you're probably asking yourself, how do I know if I'm power posting, right? How do I know if I'm power posting? Oh, okay, there we go. It looked like I had a phone interview or a little glitch. Now I think we're all set and we're back in business. So how do you know if you're power posting? Well, here's what I can tell you, okay? This is how you know if you're power posting or not. If you go and you look at what you post and your posts sound like they're asking, and I like to call it leading with your wallet, okay? And what I mean by that is, are you posting just so that you can get information to make a sale, to get people to comment so then you can immediately message them and pitch them your opportunity or pitch them your product or service, okay? It's like literally envision this, okay? Someone's walking down the street, and this is the example of not power posting, okay? Because there's two different there's two different sides of posting, okay? So if you're feeling like when you're posting and then you're constantly waiting for someone to respond so you can pounce, so you can jump on that prospect. And you're basically like holding onto their leg as they're walking down the street, and they're basically politely saying, see you later, goodbye. And you're like, wait, let me tell you one more thing, okay? That is not power posting. If you are power posting, it should feel like when people are replying, when people are responding, they're like, imagine yourself at a happy hour, okay, with a bunch of people. And you guys are all cheersing beers or cheersing, the tequila. We tend to like to have some tequila here at Elite Marketing Pro. Cheersing tequila, cheersing beers, giving each other high fives, heading to the movie, having fun, okay? So having that ability for people to have fun with what you post, for people to feel like they matter, for people to feel like the questions that you're asking, you truly genuinely want to know what their response is versus versus feeling like everything you're posting is literally just to get a response from someone so you can pounce, right? So no to that. And if you're not quite sure if you've done that before, just go back, look at your posts, and really think from when you ask yourself, what was I feeling like when I made this post? Was it coming from a place of desperation, or was it coming from a place of truly wanting to collect more information to get to know your people better and to truly want to hear what their response is? Okay? So I'm going to give you my top 3 style of power posts. And what you'll probably find is that you might be doing some of these already, yet there's like a whole new level and enhancement of what you can do when it comes to power posting. Okay, so here are the key elements of power posting. Number 1, your post is clear on its purpose. Let me say that again. Try and say that 3 times fast. Your post is clear on its purpose from the beginning. So before you post anything, okay, you are 100% clear on the reason that you're posting it. All right, it's clear on its purpose. It causes your prospect, this is number 2, it causes your prospect to take action, okay? These are the key elements of a power post. It creates interaction, okay? It gives you data to collect and inspect. This is probably one of the most important parts, and here's what I'm gonna tell you. This kind of stuff doesn't really seem sexy, it doesn't seem flashy. When you get this and you learn how to utilize these power posts and understand the purpose for them, it becomes very, very powerful for you, okay? It gives you data to collect and inspect. So when you actually have a purpose on your post and people comment in and start interacting, you have a lot more information that you can utilize in your marketing, inside your advertisements, inside your emails, inside your videos, inside your calls when you're trying to close a prospect, lots of different things. It allows you to get the conversation started, okay? And it begins your expert positioning. Because how many of you sometimes feel or have felt in the past, drop a 3, if you've ever felt like, well, what can I post about? I don't have experience. I don't have the, I don't know everything that X person knows, right? Well, when you start posting like this allows other people to start seeing you as an expert, okay? So it begins your expert positioning journey as long as you continue to stay consistent. So how do you know if it's a power post, right? Here's the power post test, and this is what I can tell you. Now, the first thing that I'm gonna preface and say is that these are not things that you're just doing once, and if you don't get a reaction to it, you go, that doesn't work. That power post that Kate McShay talked about, that doesn't work. No. This is about getting consistent and continually testing and tweaking what you're doing, okay? This is being in it for the long haul. If you are in it for the long haul, you are taking this business seriously and you are owning that this is your business and you know it's gonna take consistency in using these power posts, I want you to comment, I'm in, all right? I'm in, because that means I know that you are in it for the long haul, okay? So as you consistently make these power posts, this is the power post test, okay? This is what we use, and this is what I always pay attention to. Is it likable? All right? Are people liking it? Is it shareable? Are people sharing it? Okay? And it doesn't have to be all of these things that qualify, but some of these things, all right? It's things to pay attention with. Good, I'm happy all of you guys are in and you're in it for the long haul for your business. Powerhouses, all right. Is it comment worthy? Okay, is it comment worthy? Now, and comment worthy, we want to talk about quality of comments, okay? The quality of comments, not just how many comments. If you get a bunch of people commenting in a 7 and you don't get anything else from it, yeah, it's a great way to get some people to comment in and get used to you, but I'm talking about power posts. I'm talking about quality of comments that give you data and give you information. Does it make somebody else feel something? Okay, this is a power post test. If it makes somebody else feel something, if it makes them want to respond, if it makes them all of a sudden go in and go, you know what, I really like Amy. Like Amy hits me in the heart and really makes me feel like she has my best interest in mind, okay? If it makes a connection, and does it make your prospect want to say to somebody else, All right. This is all about reflecting on how you've been posting. If someone were to call somebody else and someone was like, hey, who are you following on social media these days? Do your posts get somebody else to want to say to their friend, oh my gosh, you've got to follow David. Oh, his posts are amazing. He, makes me feel so welcome. He makes me feel social on social media, right? So those are like kind of the power posts that pass the test, okay? Those are like the little indicators that if those things are starting to happen on your post, there's a good chance that you've got power posts. So now let's talk about the 3 power posts I'll give you, okay? I have a total of 6. I'm sure at some other time I can come on and share with you the other 3 that I've got, but I just know I have limited time on the Daily Dose of Awesome because we like to try and keep it around 15 minutes. So I'm going to give you my top 3 must-have power posts just to get you started, okay? And they may seem normal. They may seem like things you've already heard before. So remind yourself that if your brain is saying, oh, I know that already, listen to the reason that they become power posts. Okay? Because it's not just about the posting, it's about this. And this is probably one of the best tips, so make sure that you write it down. The best power posters are the best data collectors. Okay? So the best power posters, the people that really win on social media, are posting with a very serious purpose. Okay? Because their main purpose is, yes, to engage with prospects, yes, to make them feel heard, but it's also to collect data to truly understand what their prospects want, okay? So the first kind of power post I'll give you seems pretty simplistic. However, I'm going to give you some examples so you can understand the thought process behind it, okay? So post number 1. Post number 1 is, I'll give you 2, questions and opinions, okay? Questions and opinions are the number 1 power post that you can utilize. And what's the purpose of them, right? So again, we go back to, it has to have a clear purpose if it's a power post. So questions and opinions, what's the purpose for it? Well, when you post a question, a very, very strong question that gets people to interact with you, when you post an opinion, this is what it does, okay? You actually get a chance to collect. You get to collect your prospects' pain, struggles, dreams, desires, or help that they might need. It also allows you to get in on how they really feel, and I'll explain that in just a second. It also helps your prospect or the people that are following you on social media actually feel needed, and it also allows you to collect data on new content topics that people might want, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I'll start with questions for our number 1 power posts. So what do you think? Okay, I'm going to give you that. That is so, so powerful. What do you think is one of the best ways to start questions on social media? And here's the reason, okay? And if you think you know the reason, I want you to also comment in and let me know what you think is the reason we would use what do you think, okay? So what do you think? I do a lot of video marketing, okay? I do a lot of video marketing. So a question that I might ask on my page is, what do you think is the number 1 reason people fear getting on camera? So I know that my people, okay, I know that if I'm teaching video marketing, one of the biggest things that people fear, and maybe some of you have this, is fear of getting on camera. Now, if I ask the question, okay, if I ask the question just because I want people to respond, because I have to post, because I was told I have to post a certain amount of times a day, if I just post, what's your reason for fearing getting on camera? Okay, what's your reason for the fear of getting on camera? Or if when you say anything that might insinuate that someone is going to admit that they have pain in doing something on social media, they're not going to answer you. Okay, they're not going to respond, because if you've noticed, most people on social media are sharing the good stuff, right? They're sharing the things that they want people to see. So when you ask the question, what do you think is the number 1 reason people fear getting on camera? What do you think is the number 1 reason people struggle with staying on a diet? Or what do you think is the number 1 reason people struggle with living a healthy lifestyle? When you ask that question, that opens up 2 things. It opens up a question and an opinion for people to share how they really feel. Okay? Think about that. For people to share how they really feel. Because more often than not, when people comment in, because everybody loves to give their input, when people comment in like that, what they end up doing is they end up telling you something that they've struggled with in the past. All right? Or they share with you something that they're currently struggling with. So when you ask that, what do you think? That just allows people to feel like they're needed, feel like they can answer the question in the most truthful way that they feel is valuable to them. Okay? Another great way to ask questions. So this again is purposeful because you're thinking ahead. Maybe you're doing, maybe you're looking to do some extra content at some extra training, and you're trying to figure out, what kind of training you want to do. Okay? So here's a really great way to post a question. Which training do you think would be more helpful? Closing sales over the phone or closing sales through Facebook messaging? So here's what's cool is you're giving people the power of choice to choose which one they think would be more valuable. And so you're basically already letting them know that you're going to be doing some sort of training, but they get to be a part of the choice. So when you allow people to be part of the choice, to hop in and be part of what you do, then people are much more apt to respond, okay? One other question that I'll share with you, and as you can see, the questions kind of weave in the opinions, which is really neat. So I had somebody that I know that I've worked with that asked the question, if you won $1 million, what would you do? Now, it kind of seems like one of those questions that's just like, pretty normal and typical. Like, if you had $1 million, what would you do? Here's the cool thing of what happens when you ask a question like that, because again, it was intentional. So if you won $1 million, what would you do? What's really cool is that when people started commenting in, what they started commenting in were all the desires of what they wanted to have happen in their life. All of the things that they feel like they're missing out on now. All of the fears that were coming up, or all of the things that were currently happening. So, the ability to get out of debt, to buy a new house, to fund my kids through college. So now you have all of these things you can list out. So when you're doing presentations, when you're hopping on calls with people, when you're writing out emails, when you're, writing out blog posts, when you're shooting videos, you have more of a list of information for people's dreams and desires, okay? So hopefully that was valuable. If it was, comment in, let me know. That's our first power post, okay? Second power post are fill in the blanks. Now, fill in the blanks sound really, how do you say it? They sound simplistic, right? But what's the purpose of actually using fill in the blanks? To, again, the best power posters are data collectors, okay? So, power post number 2, fill in the blanks. What's the purpose? It actually creates flexibility, okay? Because sometimes when you ask questions, it's either or. What do you want? Closing through Messenger or closing over the phone? So the fill in the blank allows to give flexibility. It gives you data again for content, and then it uncovers your fears, dreams, and desires of your prospect. So here are a couple of examples, okay? So if I ask this question, freedom to me means blank. It's pretty amazing what you can get from people because you basically get them to identify what freedom means. So you'll have people comment in, time with my family, time with, time to do what I want when I want, time to write my own check. Freedom means to me living in, dropping everything and traveling around the world for 6 months out of the year. Again, you're getting data to get the information for what they want most, for their dreams, right? Freedom to me means getting out of debt. You're finding out what their pains and struggles are. One of the other ones that I love is, just as another example, the best thing I ever did in my life was blank. This is a really good question to ask because what ends up happening, and it's just a natural thing that people do, is a lot of people reflect on the past. And a lot of people reflect on the past in a almost challenging way. They always look at the challenges or the negatives that they've had or the things that haven't necessarily worked out for them. So when you ask the question, the best thing I ever did in my life was blank, here's what's really cool that happens. You find that true love for what people have loved and adored and respected inside of their life. A lot of times you'll see people talk about their kids. Again, all of these things are done with the intention of getting to know your prospects better so you can figure out how to help them and also identify their dreams and desires, okay? So the final power post. So fill in the blanks are pretty simplistic. However, you're using them not just what's your favorite color, black or white, you're using it to collect information. Now, here's my last and favorite power post, and this is one that you can start doing when you start actually connecting with your prospects. If you've got a team that you're focused in on building, or if you've got, clients and customers that you work with. The third power post that I highly recommend you start utilizing are the celebrations. Okay. And this isn't one that I talk about too much. So it's celebrations. And this is one, as long as you're consistently starting to use some of the other power posts, you can start using this one as well. So what's the purpose of celebrations? Okay. It's to create acknowledgement either for yourself or for others, to create engagement, to help people enjoy the journey, to track long-term progress, to create a connection to you and their success, or to show that you care. That last one is so important, to show that you care, okay? So here's an example. Something that we do, and I know we do over at Elite Marketing Pro, is at the end of the week, people start posting in and they celebrate their small wins, right? And I see it all the time inside of the communities, which is great. And if you are not part of the community yet, make sure you go to elitemarketingpro.com or get with the person who invited you to this training, because it's an absolutely powerful community to be a part of, okay? So celebrations. So what Elite Marketing Pro does is that they go through and they have everybody just post small wins that happened for them throughout the week. So here's what's really, really cool. And maybe, I don't even know if any of you have ever thought of this before. If you're thinking to yourself, like, I don't have a team, I don't have a big community. Well, you do inside of Elite Marketing Pro. So imagine what it would be like if you just started celebrating other people's success just because you care and just because it's a way to help somebody else rise up and help somebody else feel more confident. So imagine if you saw somebody post in Elite Marketing Pro, like, I just had an awesome win this week. I was able to do 2 Facebook Lives and rid my fear of getting on camera. Can you imagine what would happen if on your fan page or personal profile, wherever you're building, you all of a sudden went out and said, just want to give a huge shout out to Jenny. Jenny accomplished some big things this week inside of her business, and got consistent with some things that she hadn't done before. Just super proud of her and proud to be a part of the community that we're both involved in. Can you imagine that if you just did that just to give somebody a shout out, what that would do for people? Can you imagine what it would be like if you gave a shout out and celebrated, teammates of yours? Congratulations to Steve, because Steve did his first prospecting. Steve hopped into the business, did his first prospecting this week, and took a step forward. Congratulations. So imagine what that would be like versus always feeling like the celebration has to come from when you have a team, when you have, this big, huge downline or anything like that. Just imagine what it would be like when you start just giving people more love. I know we talk about attraction marketing all the time over here at Elite Marketing Pro. So imagine what it would be like if you give out love. That's what you're naturally going to come back and attract as well too. So those are the power posts, celebrations that most people won't do. Most people will do questions, opinions, fill in the blanks, because they're focused in on how do I collect data. The celebrations are for the ones that really want to win and take it to the next level. So with that being said, I knew that I would go a little bit over today. So hopefully that's all right, because I wanted to make sure that I really dug deep into the behind the scenes look of the reason you should be using power posts, what their purpose is, and how you can actually start taking some of the ones that I talked about today and utilizing them inside of your business. Remember, more important than anything, this is a long-term journey. This is something that you should view as put on your strap on your hiking boots and hike up that mountain, because this is something, when you continue to use these power posts over and over and over again, you'll start to see the traction, you'll start to win, you'll start to create even better content, and you'll probably create even better, an even better, bigger, and stronger network, because you're just sharing the wealth and sharing the love for people just doing bigger and better things in their life. So I appreciate every single one of you for coming on here live, every single one of you for watching the replay, and make sure you tune in to these Daily Dose of Awesomes every single day during the week, because I know they do them Monday through Fridays, And the people that are on here training are absolutely top notch. And so make sure you stay tuned into the other Daily Doses of Awesome. I appreciate being on here. I love Elite Marketing Pro, and I will see all of you guys hopefully again sometime soon. Take care.